Hey folks, before we dive in, don't forget to follow SkyAlert USA to catch this and all our future weather updates. If you'd like to support us, go ahead and subscribe, give us a like, and drop a comment below. It really helps us out, and we sure do appreciate it. Hello and welcome back to SkyAlert USA, your trusted source for comprehensive weather updates across North America. I'm bringing you critical weather information for Friday, December 20th, 2025, as millions prepare for Christmas travel amid challenging weather conditions sweeping across the United States and Canada. Today's weather presents significant challenges for travelers, with multiple storm systems impacting various regions from coast to coast. As we speak on this Friday morning, a powerful coast-to-coast storm system is creating travel nightmares for millions of Americans just days before Christmas. This massive weather system has already left its mark across the Pacific Northwest and is now charging eastward, bringing hurricane-force winds, heavy snowfall, and dangerous travel conditions to more than 30 states. The storm system brought some of the heaviest snowfall of the season to Minnesota and Wisconsin on Thursday, with treacherous travel conditions reported across the northern United States. Areas like Medford, Wisconsin received up to 8 inches of snow overnight, while multiple locations across the upper Midwest are grappling with whiteout conditions and dangerous wind chills. Blizzard warnings remain in effect for parts of North Dakota and Minnesota, where periods of complete whiteout driving conditions are creating extremely dangerous situations on roadways. Wind gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour are combining with falling snow to reduce visibility to near zero in many areas. Emergency management officials are urging residents to avoid all non-essential travel as road closures mount across the region. The storm has been particularly devastating for the Dakotas, where wind gusts reached 78 miles per hour in Glasgow, Montana on Wednesday, setting a new December wind record for the area. Highway conditions have deteriorated so severely that Saskatchewan RCMP reported 82 vehicle collisions and 25 weather-related incidents within just 15 hours. North of the border, Canada is experiencing its own severe weather crisis. Blizzard conditions in southern Manitoba have forced school closures and highway shutdowns, with officials warning of life-threatening conditions. The Prairie provinces are being hammered by an Alberta clipper system, bringing 10 to 20 centimeters of snow combined with wind gusts reaching 90 kilometers per hour. Environment and Climate Change Canada has issued multiple orange-level alerts across northern Ontario and northwest Quebec, where 30 to 50 centimeters of snow are forecast through Friday afternoon. These hazardous winter conditions are expected to last until Saturday morning as the storm continues its eastward progression. In Saskatchewan, the situation remains critical following Wednesday's devastating snowstorm that left much of the southwest without power, affecting communities including Maple Creek, East End, Shaunavon, and Frontier. Emergency crews have been working around the clock, but rapidly changing conditions continue to create new challenges. Behind the storm system, an Arctic blast of historic proportions is sweeping down from the polar regions, bringing dangerously cold temperatures to wide areas of both countries. Parts of New York State experienced temperatures plummeting to negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit on the morning of December 23rd, with wind chills making it feel even more brutal. In Canada, extreme cold warnings stretch from British Columbia to the Atlantic provinces. Edmonton faced temperatures near negative 40 degrees Celsius, approaching the extreme negative 40-degree stretch experienced in January 2024. Vancouver, typically mild for this time of year, dipped to negative 12 degrees Celsius with wind chills, making it feel like negative 20 degrees. Environment Canada has issued warnings that frostbite to exposed skin can occur within 20 seconds in these conditions, with hypothermia likely without protective clothing. Outdoor activity is considered extraordinarily dangerous and life-threatening in the hardest-hit areas. The Interstate 95 corridor is preparing for potentially significant winter weather impacts this weekend. Boston and surrounding areas could experience rounds of frozen precipitation during the final weekend before Christmas, as an incoming weather system brings ingredients for measurable snowfall. A coastal low developing off the east coast will spin up additional energy near the Carolinas, and how these two systems interact will determine whether the region sees significant snow accumulations or a mix of winter precipitation. Travel along the heavily congested I-95 corridor, one of America's busiest highways, could become extremely difficult if conditions deteriorate as forecast. The timing is particularly concerning, as this corridor sees massive increases in traffic volume during the holiday season. Looking toward the West Coast, California, and the Pacific Northwest face a different but equally serious threat. Multiple atmospheric rivers are forecast to impact the region through the Christmas holiday period, bringing heavy rainfall and potential for life-threatening flooding to areas from Northern California through Washington state. These atmospheric river events, sometimes called Pineapple Express storms when they originate near Hawaii, are long, narrow bands of concentrated water vapor that act like fire hoses, transporting enormous volumes of moisture from tropical regions. When this moisture encounters coastal mountains, it's forced upward, cooling and condensing into intense rainfall or heavy mountain snow. The Weather Prediction Center has issued excessive rainfall outlooks for much of coastal California, warning that rainfall rates could reach ½ an inch to 1 inch per hour during peak storm periods. This is particularly concerning given that earlier in December, some areas experienced historic flooding from similar atmospheric river events, with parts of Northern California receiving nearly 2 feet of rainfall in 72 hours. With Christmas just 5 days away, these weather systems are creating significant disruptions for the millions of Americans and Canadians traveling to be with family and friends. Airport delays and cancellations are mounting across affected regions, with more than 300 flights canceled in the Pacific Northwest alone earlier this week due to high winds and poor visibility. Major transportation hubs including Chicago, Minneapolis, Denver, and Seattle are experiencing cascading delays as weather systems move across the country. Airlines are offering travel waivers for affected routes, but many travelers are finding themselves stranded or significantly delayed. Highway conditions are equally challenging, with multiple interstate closures reported across the northern plains and upper Midwest. The combination of heavy snow, high winds, and poor visibility has made driving extremely hazardous, with emergency officials across multiple states urging people to postpone travel if possible. Saturday, December 21st marks the winter solstice, the shortest day and longest night of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Temperatures will be warmer than normal across much of the United States east of the Rocky Mountains, while areas to the west will see near to below normal readings. The storm system currently impacting the upper Midwest will continue moving eastward, bringing snow and mixed precipitation to the Great Lakes region and parts of the Northeast. Cloudy skies and rainy periods will dominate the southern Appalachians, Southeast, and Gulf Coast regions. The southern plains can expect snow, while Alaska will see widespread winter weather. For Canada, Saturday brings clear skies and mild temperatures to southern Quebec, southern Ontario, and the Prairie provinces. However, Atlantic Canada and southern British Columbia will experience rain and snow with near to above normal temperatures. The Yukon faces rain, snow, and colder conditions. On Sunday, December 22nd, the East Coast will be watching a developing storm system closely. A low-pressure system tracking along the coast could bring snow, rain, or a wintry mix to areas from the Carolinas through New England, depending on its exact track and intensity. Cities along the I-95 corridor, including Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston should prepare for potentially impactful weather. Meanwhile, the West Coast continues dealing with atmospheric river impacts. Heavy rain will persist across California and the Pacific Northwest, with mountain areas seeing significant snow accumulations. Flood watches remain in effect for many coastal areas as saturated ground and swollen rivers raise concerns about flash flooding and mudslides. The central United States will see a brief respite between weather systems, though lingering snow showers and frigid temperatures will persist across the northern plains and upper Midwest. Monday, December 23rd, Christmas Eve, brings continued challenging conditions across multiple regions. The northeastern storm system should be moving offshore, though lingering precipitation may affect parts of New England, particularly Maine. Cold temperatures will be entrenched across the eastern two-thirds of the nation, though not quite as severe as the previous weekend's Arctic outbreak. California's heavy rainfall should begin to ease somewhat, though additional atmospheric river events remain possible through the Christmas period. The Pacific Northwest will transition to scattered showers rather than persistent heavy rain. Travelers attempting last-minute Christmas journeys on Monday may find conditions improving in many areas, though residual impacts from weekend weather will persist. Airport operations should gradually return to normal, though delays may continue at major hubs dealing with flight crew positioning and aircraft availability issues. Looking beyond the immediate three-day period, the overall weather pattern suggests continued active conditions through the remainder of December and into early 2025. The Climate Prediction Center forecasts indicate that La Niña conditions, while weak, will continue influencing weather patterns across North America. For the northern tier of the United States, wetter-than-average conditions are expected to persist, particularly across the Pacific Northwest and Great Lakes regions. This increases the likelihood of additional snow and rain events through the winter months. Meanwhile, drier-than-average conditions are forecast from the Four Corners region through the southeast and Gulf Coast states. Temperature-wise, much of the country east of the Rockies should see above normal readings continuing through the remainder of December and into early January, despite periodic Arctic intrusions. The West Coast and Alaska will likely experience near to below normal temperatures. It's important to note that the clash between unseasonably warm, moist air masses and Arctic cold fronts can create conditions favorable for severe weather. Earlier this month, parts of Georgia experienced tornado outbreaks, with 6 tornadoes touching down, including 3 rated EF1. This type of severe weather risk may continue as strong temperature contrasts persist across the country. With these dangerous conditions affecting so many areas, it's critical that everyone takes appropriate precautions. For those facing winter storms and extreme cold, dress in multiple layers with wind-resistant outer clothing. Limit outdoor exposure, especially for children, elderly individuals, and those with chronic health conditions. Keep emergency supplies in your vehicle, including blankets, food, water, flashlight, and phone chargers. If you must travel, inform others of your route and expected arrival time. For areas expecting heavy rain and flooding, never attempt to drive through flooded roadways. Turn around, don't drown. Be alert for flash flood warnings and have evacuation plans ready. Avoid hiking or camping in areas with landslide potential. Secure outdoor items that could be blown away by high winds. Power outages remain a significant concern across all affected regions. Ensure you have flashlights, batteries, and backup power sources for essential medical equipment. If you use alternative heating sources, never use them indoors without proper ventilation to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. As we approach Christmas and the holiday season, these weather systems serve as powerful reminders of nature's forces and the importance of staying informed and prepared. Continue monitoring SkyAlert USA for the latest updates, warnings, and forecast changes. Your local National Weather Service office provides the most accurate and up-to-date information for your specific area, including watches, warnings, and advisories. Whether you're traveling or staying home for the holidays, make safety your top priority. Check weather conditions before you travel, allow extra time for your journeys, and don't hesitate to postpone travel if conditions are too dangerous. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay warm, America and Canada. This has been your comprehensive weather update from SkyAlert USA. We'll continue monitoring these developing situations and bring you updates as conditions evolve. Thank you for trusting us with your weather information needs. And from all of us here, we wish you safe travels and happy holidays.